Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are going on a fascinating financial journey. We're going to follow the money, step by step, from the moment a business makes a profit, all the way until it lands in the partner's own pockets. All right, let's get into it.
So, picture this. You and a friend decide to start a business together. Maybe you're an amazing makeup artist, and your friend is a genius with hair. Teaming up sounds like a no-brainer, right? But how do you actually sort out the money you make? How do you keep it fair and transparent? That is exactly what we're going to unpack today.
Okay, so before we can even begin to follow the money, we got to understand the rules of the game. First things first, what is a partnership really?
Well, here's the fundamental choice you're making. If you go it alone as a sole trader, it's all on you. You get to keep every penny of profit, but you also carry every bit of the risk. In a partnership, you share everything. You get more brain power, more skills, maybe more startup cash, but you also have to share the profits. And as you can imagine, making decisions can sometimes get a little complicated.
So, to stop things from getting complicated, or worse, turning into a huge fight, every smart partnership needs a rulebook. In the business world, we call this the partnership agreement. And listen, this is so much more than just a piece of paper. You should think of this as your friendship insurance policy. It's a preemptive strike against every possible argument you could have about money down the line. It is the single most important document you'll create.
So what's actually in this rulebook? Well, it's all about the money. It spells out in black and white who put in what at the start, if anyone gets a regular salary, what the rules are for taking money out during the year, and, this is the big one, exactly how you're going to slice up that final profit pie.
All right, our rulebook is in place. Now the real fun begins. We can officially start following the money. And the very first stop on our journey is figuring out how much the business as a whole actually made. This is where the income statement comes in. Its job is to calculate the profit for the partnership as if it were a single person. This is the business's report card for the year. It's all about total income minus total business expenses. We're not even thinking about who gets what yet.
Now, this is absolutely crucial, and it's a point that trips up so many people. Why aren't things like partner salaries on here? Because in the eyes of accounting, they are not business operating expenses. They are ways of distributing the profit after you know what it is. See the difference? Paying an employee is an expense. Paying a partner is like dividing up the winnings.
Okay, so the income statement just told us how big our profit pie is. Now we need to figure out exactly how to slice it up based on our rulebook. That's where a special account called the Appropriation Account comes into play.
Think of this as the recipe for splitting the profit. We start with our total profit number. Then, we do something that might seem a little weird. We add any interest on drawings. Now, why would we do that? Because from the business's perspective, that's extra money coming back into the pot from the partners. After that, we subtract the things the business promised to pay out to the partners, like salaries and interest, before we finally split whatever's left over. The pie is officially sliced. But we need a place to keep track of each partner's individual slice, plus everything else they've put in or taken out over the year. To do that, we use two very important but different types of accounts. The easiest way to think about this is to compare it to your own bank accounts. The capital account is like a long-term savings account. It holds the money you use to start the business, and you pretty much leave it alone. The current account, though, that's your busy, everyday checking account. Money is constantly flowing in and out. Salaries go in, cash withdrawals come out, your share of the profit gets deposited. It's always changing. Let's look closer at that busy current account. For each partner, think of it like a balance scale. On one side, we pile on all the things that increase what the business owes them: their salary, interest on their capital, and of course, their share of the profit. On the other side, we subtract what they've taken out, any cash drawings, and any interest they got charged for taking that money out early. And finally, after all this calculating and tracking, we take all of these individual pieces, the stable capital accounts and those fluctuating current accounts, and we bring them all together in one final master document. This is the ultimate scorecard, the statement of financial position. And here's where our entire journey ends. It's all laid out perfectly. You can see each partner's long-term capital investment. But check out the current accounts. That's what tells the story of the year. Partner A has a healthy positive balance of over $10,000. But look at Partner B. They're in the negative. What does that mean? It means they've actually taken out more money in drawings than they were entitled to from this year's profits. This statement gives you that crystal clear picture of exactly where everyone stands.
So, as you can see, having a well-defined process brings total clarity and order to a partnership's finances, and it all hinges on that one document we started with, the rulebook, the partnership agreement. Which kind of leaves us with one final, pretty important thought. With a clear rulebook, partnerships can absolutely thrive. But what do you think happens when there isn't one? That's something worth thinking about.